Genesis 6:1-4 is one of the most mysterious passages in the Old Testament.
The sons of God saw that the daughters of men were attractive, and they took wives for themselves.
Who are these sons of God? Who are the Nephilim?
And why does this brief passage introduce the judgment of the flood?
Throughout church history, three major interpretations have emerged.
View 1. The angelic view.
This interpretation argues that the sons of God are fallen angels.
In the Old Testament, particularly in Job, the phrase sons of God clearly refers to angelic beings.
This linguistic evidence is strong.
Some connect this passage to 2 Peter 2-4 and Jude 6, where angels are described as sinning and leaving their proper domain.
According to this view, these fallen angels cohabited with human women, producing extraordinary offspring, the Nephilim described as mighty men of old.
Supporters argue that this explains the unusual language, the extraordinary offspring, the severity of the coming judgment.
However, this view raises difficult questions.
Jesus taught that angels do not marry.
How could spiritual beings produce physical offspring?
And does this interpretation risk speculative mythology?
View 2. The Sethite view.
This view argues that the sons of God were the godly descendants of Seth.
Genesis 4 presents the line of Cain.
Genesis 5 presents the line of Seth.
According to this interpretation, the passage describes intermarriage between the godly and the ungodly, spiritual compromise that led to moral corruption.
This view avoids supernatural speculation and keeps the focus on human sin.
Yet it faces challenges.
Nowhere else in the Old Testament are believers clearly called sons of God.
And the text's reference to Nephilim and mighty warriors seems unusually dramatic if the issue is merely mixed marriage.
View 3. The royalty or tyrant view.
This interpretation sees the sons of God as ancient kings or rulers who claimed divine status.
In the ancient Near East, rulers sometimes called themselves divine or
According to this view, these powerful men took women into royal harems, abusing authority and spreading violence.
The Nephilim, then, were violent warrior elites, renowned but corrupt.
This interpretation emphasizes political tyranny rather than angelic intrusion.
However, the text itself does not explicitly mention kings, and the linguistic support is weaker than the angelic reading.
What about the Nephilim?
The word appears only twice in scripture, here in Genesis and later in Numbers 13.
It may mean fallen ones, giants, violent warriors.
But the focus of Genesis 6 is not primarily on their size or mythology.
The focus is corruption.
Genesis 6-5 clarifies the true issue. The Lord saw that the wickedness of man was great in the earth.
Regardless of which view one adopts, the theological message is unmistakable.
Boundaries were violated.
Humanity became profoundly corrupt.
And divine patience reached its limit.
The main theological point.
This passage is not given to satisfy curiosity about giants.
It prepares us for judgment.
It explains why the flood was necessary.
And it reminds us that when God's created order is rejected, whether spiritually, morally, or socially, corruption spreads rapidly.
Genesis 6 is not ultimately about mysterious beings.
It is about the seriousness of sin.
And yet, even here, grace appears.
But Noah found favor in the eyes of the Lord.
Judgment comes.
But so does salvation.